This is my philosophy of technology reflection. First off, I would like to talk about where I started. Before developing my philosophy of technology, I was uneducated on how and on the fence about its uses in the classroom. To be honest, I felt scared of the technology and the fact that I am responsible for finding ways to include it in my classroom. The most I had been exposed to technology is a teacher presenting a PowerPoint on the smartboard, and that's about it. So during the course, we were able to examine many different tools that helped me develop my philosophy of teaching. First off was Twitter. As the course progressed, we got the chance to explore the different kinds of apps to use in the classroom and what the gamification of learning was. I started to get an idea of what technology in the classroom is going to look like and how to make it easy for my students. Probably one of the most important parts of this course that helped influence my philosophy of technology was the TPAC and SAMR modules that we discussed. I was able to really reflect on where I was in the TPAC diagram, on the content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and technological knowledge, and I feel I've grown a lot since then. You can visit my TPAC model in my e-portfolio. Next off, I was able to finally get a hands-on experience with the smartboard, other than presenting a PowerPoint to a classroom. I was able to, in the video, I was able to do the technique of whiting out and erase to reveal. And I feel like this would be really useful for little kids, and they'd be able to come up and erase themselves and find the answer. Next off, we discussed some of the negatives, and one of the ones that really scared me the most was cyberbullying and digital citizenship. Yeah, this unit hit me hard, and it was scary to deal with because kids can be mean, and I don't know how I'm supposed to monitor this. So I was left with the questions like, am I giving the kids more opportunity to hurt other children, or how am I ever supposed to control what they do on the web, especially a class full of 30 kids. Later on, I relaxed a little bit, calmed down, and realized that the success of the technology depends on how you use it. And when we got to explore Web 2.0 tools, I was able to figure out what kind of criteria I'm looking for in a classroom technology. I have a full list of them on my e-portfolio that you are welcome to check out, and I recommend you do so. And those criteria really help form what I'm looking for in a technology to use for my classrooms. Is it easy? Is it free? All the kind of stuff like that. Next was probably one of my favorite units in this course was the learning theories and technology. I'm super familiar with the learning theories, and I love learning about them because they're also different and also the same in some of the parts. But anyways, so it was great to match technologies with the different theories, and I feel like that is super useful when figuring out which ones to use. I'm able to look at my kids and think, hey, maybe this is a behaviors class, I can use technologies that offer rewards for them, or so on and so forth. So the questions I was left with then were, how do each of my kids learn, and how can I differentiate the use of technology to accommodate those children's needs? Therefore, to conclude, my learning philosophy is that, based on all the development I made in my learning philosophy, I will say that for me, technology has a place in education, of course. It all just depends on when and how you use it. Also, I don't believe an education should be reliant on technology, and I think that there's a fine line and we need to be careful not to cross that. But as a teacher, I need to be conscious of the balance between technology use and the ancient technology of pen to paper. I've come a long way in my learning, and from trying my hardest to navigate through Google Sites to finally understanding the importance of technology in education and how to pick certain technologies and implement them in my classroom, how to pick age-appropriate technologies, and what certain apps will look like, what apps are super useful, and all of that stuff. Lastly, technology is inevitable. All I'm able to do as a future teacher is develop further my philosophy of technology and continue to grow and learn about the different technologies available to my students. As a teacher, you are always a learner, and there's always going to be new technology to use. Therefore, you got to keep up with it. And there are the downfalls to using technology. However, I have developed from being scared of it to looking forward to implementing new technologies in my classroom. And there you have it. That is my philosophy of technology reflection. Please visit my ePortfolio for all other information you might have.